Let's talk about growing as a teacher. Some teachers get frustrated because they're eager to try out some new technology in the classroom, but their colleagues and administrators aren't so excited. Or the opposite, they're frustrated because they're being pushed by the administration into using some new technology, for example, smart boards, and they don't really want to do it. They don't know how to do it. For myself, I find it helpful to honestly assess where I am on the innovation adoption curve. Everett Rogers is the one who made the concept of an innovation adoption curve popular back in the 1960s. According to his research, there are basically 5 types of people when it comes to new ideas. The innovators are the people out front on the bleeding edge, pulling the change along. They are pulling the rest of us to follow them. That's only 2.5% of the population who are innovators. So if you're an innovator, don't expect everyone else to be an innovator, because they aren't. Early adopters are willing to try out new ideas. They're just more careful about it. Early adopters are 13.5% of the population. Early majority are even more careful about accepting change, but they are willing to accept change more quickly than the average person. Early majority are 34% of the population. Late majority are the skeptics who try something new only after the majority are using it. Late majority are 34% of the population. So that means about 1/3 of the population is willing to try something only after almost everyone else has tried it. Laggards, then there are laggards. Laggards are people who are always fighting new ideas and only accepting something new after it's no longer new, after it's become common practice. Laggards are 16% of the population. It doesn't really matter where you fit on the curve, as long as you recognize yourself and understand that there are others like you. You are not alone. The other advantage of these labels is that it can help you identify allies at your school, and on the other side, it can help you identify those who are going to be less enthusiastic about any new technology you incorporate into your class. Clearly, if you are an early adopter and your school administration are laggards, then you will experience real tension. So if there is conflict going on, maybe that's why. Maybe you're the early adopter and your administrators are the laggards. So recognizing them as laggards helps you decide how to approach them better, which in this case I would suggest you don't try to approach them, certainly not first. You try to recruit some of the early majority at your school and get them to try some of your new ideas or agree with you, right? Because laggards are willing to accept things after they become more popular. So if you can get it more popular, then the laggards are going to accept it. By the way, it appears that our age group sometimes determines which group we fit in, which means it is possible to move ourselves from one group to another. It's possible to move. It's all about attitude. If you aren't happy with where you fit on the adoption curve, you can change it if you want to. Let's talk about some other ways to keep growing. How to get new ideas. There are lots of ways to keep growing as a teacher. Professional conferences are great places to get ideas. Also, when you join a professional organization like TESOL, they usually also make available newsletters, magazines, journals, and listservs that can provide interesting information. By the way, listservs are electronic discussion lists. It's very similar to sending out group emails. If you're like me, you don't have time to read every article, but I try to read at least 5 minutes of an article occasionally. You don't have to read the whole article. Even 5 minutes will give you a lot of information. Many of my ideas also come from colleagues or teaching websites. By taking this class, you're showing an interest in becoming a better instructor. So I hope you continue on with your development throughout the years.